And
But
we
yeah,
are live. Hello, hello to
right.
everyone.
The summer is finally here in Helsinki. There are kids playing in the backyard. Hopefully, the sounds don't carry over to the webinar. But yeah, it's finally warm, and here we are inside. Maybe we should have done this outside. Just
Yeah, that
go
would have
out to
been
the
pretty
park
pretty
and
cool. Sit on a deck or something, watch the
yeah,
view and something. But unfortunately, no. There's a beach quite close to where I live, and yesterday when I came home with the bus, it was packed. Like it was, there was so many people. Probably the same today. So yeah, feeling excited to being at home and doing stuff like this. But
yeah,
no, it's fun. But anyway, let's wait for a minute or two for more people to join. So
yeah. So if anyone's already joined in, we're going to wait for a minute for more people to show up, and then we're going to talk about our new mobile app version of Salesframe.
yes, we are. Uh, we could still introduce ourselves. I'm Frans. Hello to everyone, and partly hosting this with Mikko, our product designer. And in short, it's now time to keep a webinar about this new offline app that we've been developing for some time, and now it's finally time to release it to the people and go over what it's about and quickly also demo some features of it.
Yeah, I'll introduce myself too. I'm Mikko. I'm the product designer at Salesframe, and we've been kind of working on the side with our main product being the main focus, but we really wanted to get this mobile app to a place where it's truly useful and offers some kind of usability that the main tool doesn't. So mainly phone usage and so on. So I feel like finally we have now released a version that is truly worthy of actually demonstrating it in a webinar, and like I'm sure it will provide a lot of additional value to our current users, and it should help a lot of our users with challenges that they might face out there in the field.
Yeah, and also, excuse me, doing or business also going more into mobile usage and tablet usage, especially in fields like FMCG and others where the laptop isn't necessary and the people are also viewing more materials on their phone. It's much a better option for us to bring Salesforce into the app rather than opening it from your phone's Chrome or Safari or something else. So
Yeah,
just making that whole thing a lot simpler when the overall usage is also increasing for phones or tablets.
yeah, and we've gotten a lot of feedback from the field, from just regular users and also admins representing our users, that there are certain situations where a lot of salespeople might be traveling to their customers, to different places that don't have internet connections necessarily, but also even when having a good internet connection, a lot of salespeople are now traveling to places without their laptops, like no computer at all, just a phone, maybe a tablet, and that it would be very, very useful to actually be able to use Salesframe in those situations as well. And also, I mean, sometimes you just don't want to take out your laptop. Sometimes you just want to do something quickly, and it's much easier to do certain things with your phone than it is to like sit down at a computer.
Yep, and now we've talked about the intro for 5 minutes, so I think we should, or it would be good to jump to the next topic. I'll switch the slide here into the overview of
Yeah.
the mobile app. Even though we covered many of the topics, we should probably still give some other type of ideas or what the background of all of this is. We've had an offline app in the past. That's also the time prior to me joining to Salesframe. So I think Mikko could explain the difference real quick with the old the mobile app and this mobile app, and also why we now call it a mobile app and not necessarily offline anymore.
Yeah. Well, if you want to go like way back, even before my time at Salesframe, the original Salesframe was an offline app. but the problem there was, let's say 8-10 years ago or something. The problem there was that you would have to download everything. You would have to sync all of your materials, everything you had in your Salesframe into your device, basically every time you wanted to work with that. And then during my time at Salesframe, like my earlier years, we did have an offline app, but that the idea of that was like the full experience Salesframe product, but offline. And that again, it wasn't for mobile devices, it was for computers or like to use in the browser. But also there was the issue that you couldn't really pick and choose which materials you wanted to sync to your device and so on. So you just had to have everything, and that just takes time to download everything, and seems like a waste of time and a waste of bandwidth. And we did make kind of a first version mobile app a couple of years ago, and it was okay. But it was even more simplified of a version of Salesframe than this is. And we just really wanted to kind of find a sweet spot of have it be simple enough to use on your phone, simple enough to be kind of the quick Salesframe instead of the full experience thing, but still retain some of the qualities and some of the usage of our main product. To kind of bring those two more together, like the presentation deck at the bottom of the screen where you collect all your materials was something that was missing. It was more of a shopping cart situation in the previous version.
Yeah, but anyway, we've tried to make this a really simple version that can be accessed real quickly, and it still allows the seller or anyone to pick and choose the slides that they want to choose or present or build a presentation for sending. You can still jump into relevant folders and old My File or your own My Files or presentations that you've made before, and just in plain and simple, make it easy to use and also accessible from the phone.
Yeah, exactly.
And then if we'd use like examples, everyone knows Netflix and Spotify, and the idea with them as well is that on your phone you can find movies and music and stuff like that, but you can also toggle the offline button and sync it to your own device, and that's pretty much what we've gone after with this.
Yeah, and especially the idea of, because like picking and choosing your materials is very central to Salesframe in general, and being able to pick and choose the stuff that you actually download onto your device is also important to our mobile app now for
Yeah.
offline purposes. Of course, there's limited space on devices and so on, so you don't want to download everything anyway.
You can always unsync the stuff, but yeah,
That's true.
Yeah.
Should we actually just look at the app itself, show it to people?
Yeah, I think that would work quite
So
well.
the app is out there. It's available. You can download it for your Windows devices. So you can download it for your computer. It will work just the same as for your mobile devices. It's in the Windows Store, or the Microsoft Store. It's also available for Android in the Play Store, and for iOS in the App Store. So hopefully we have our bases covered with.
Yeah. Now, just to not make it, just to exemplify or explain why we're now doing it from my laptop here is, I mean, you can download it to your computer as well, but it would be quite weird to keep this webinar on the computer and try to show it from my tablet here. So
Yes.
just to make it in that sense, kind of explain the basis for this. But
Yes,
it looks the same
and
way on the tablet and on the phone.
yeah, and I mean, here it is on my Android phone. But again, I think for the purposes of this webinar, it's easier to demo it here. But okay, so so like I said, it's available for all your devices already. It's actually, you can you can make the window a bit narrower or wider or something. Point being, it's the same app. It scales up and down depending on your device, so it works very nicely on a phone, but it also works very nicely on your tablet. If you have an iPad that you use on the field, it works very nicely there as well. But yeah, like we talked about before, it's a simplified version of Salesframe. So if you're used to Salesframe already, your structure is kind of simplified to a more traditional structure thing where you click around your library structure, and your presentation deck color and your background image come from the main tool. So like there's no additional setup necessary. You just download the app, start using it. Same account as for your Salesframe and so on. So you don't, there's no like process necessary for getting it to work. So you just log in and you're good to go. And a quick note about the login, actually, there's a PIN code situation. So when you log in with your username and your password or your SSO login, you need to give a 4-digit PIN code. And this is because if you go offline, you can still log into your app using your PIN code and no one else can. So there's a little additional security feature, which also makes logging into the app much quicker and easier than using your email address and your password. Yeah, so here we are in the library. You have all your files or all your folders, your whole structure here. As long as you're online, everything is available. That's in your tool. But because you are logged in with your Salesframe account, your My Files are also there. All your own files that you have uploaded to Salesframe. It also knows which materials you've starred. I don't know if anything is starred in this demo thing.
I think I have
something is
demo purpose. So
yeah. And also your saved presentations you can find also from the top bar there. All your previously saved presentations, you can load those up and use those as well.
Yeah.
But like you can see, it's very easy to collect materials into your presentation deck here. And yeah, you can preview your files, and you can play these as a slideshow. On your phone, understandably, your slides are going to be very small if you use it normally in your portrait mode, but the slideshow will turn with you if you turn the phone sideways to landscape mode. So there's a little bit more of that. But I'm guessing most of the slideshow presentation will then happen on a tablet, like an iPad or something. But because this is Salesframe, you can obviously also create a memo site.
First,
Yeah,
I'm losing my voice here, but show that you can also save the stuff from here into a saved presentation.
yeah. And if you save a presentation when you're online using your mobile app, obviously those presentations you can then find in your usual browser version of Salesframe also.
Yep.
So everything is linked. All the materials and everything is always synced between those. So you can work on the full version, like at the office, at home, on your computer, and you can use the mobile version in the field, and you can just interchangeably jump back and forth between those, and everything will be up to date. But yeah, you can create a memo site. Your materials will be there. And a quick note about creating a memo site when you're offline. It is still possible to create a memo site offline. However, because it's a link, you won't actually get the link until you connect to the internet. So the link you see here that you can copy and send to your customers. Obviously, this link will be created when you have a internet connection. But yeah, it's on the Windows machine, it's not so cool. But on your phone, if you click share when you've created your memo site and you have your link, it will use your phone sharing thing, so you can very quickly and easily send that memo site link via WhatsApp or text message or email or whatever you prefer. So it's very quick and easy to just put together a presentation and send a link to your customer. And then you can follow up on those in your browser version of Salesframe with all your memo site stats and, notifications of the memo site being opened and so on. Yeah, we could quickly then talk about the offline thing, offline files. So there's this little toggle button next to your folders that you can click to sync your folders to your device.
Yep.
So if you click one of these,
for example, the FMCG structure.
Yes. And now the app has started downloading those files onto your device. And here's the thing, like you can download everything if you want to. But obviously depends on how much space you have on your device and how many files there are. But yeah, you can download these files. And if there have been any changes to the structure or the content of the folder after you've downloaded it, the next time you open your app, there will be buttons next to the folder telling you that, hey, something has changed. Do you want to resync this content, or do you want to unsync it? So in some cases, it may be that the admin has removed or moved to a completely different place some of the content that you want, and you just want to unsync sync that thing. But generally, it's a good idea to resync and make sure all your materials are up to date. But yeah, once you've synced the materials onto your device. You can also find them in your offline folders. That's at the top here. And that will show all of the stuff that you have downloaded onto your device. So if you're wondering which stuff have I already synced, what do I have on my device, you want to very quickly see before you go into a meeting whether you have all the materials you want on your device in case you lose internet connection or something. So this is where you'll find them. And now, if you were to go offline, if you were to lose your internet connection, what the app does is once you lose your internet connection, you'll have to log in again using your PIN code.
It first, sorry to interrupt. It first notifies you that you've lost your connection.
Yeah.
And then there's a green button saying okay, and then it refreshes the whole thing and makes you log in with the PIN code again. And during this time, it kind of switches to the offline mode. And then you'll only see kind of this view that you have loaded to your device.
Yeah. And the same thing happens then when you reconnect to the internet. So also this is kind of handy if you want to review, like if you want to pre-download some materials onto your device and you want to review materials and like build a presentation, you can do that on your device in flight mode. So like even on a plane, even when it's when you hear the announcement that switch all your devices to flight mode, you can still keep working with your materials if you want to. But then if you're in offline, you also find all of your offline materials just in your library. You don't have to be you don't have to go to offline folders. You'll just see the folders that you've synced. And I know we're going through all of these things very quickly because half an hour is not a long time. But of course, this recording of this webinar will be on YouTube, so you can come back to this and look at it again, or better yet, download the app and start playing around with it.
And also, we are really flexible with that. So if there's a need for trainings within the team, help with downloading the app, or just going over ideas on when and how we should use it, we're happy to help.
Yeah. If you're a regular user, you can, in our browser app, under the help thing, you can, for example, you can send support messages to us if you have any questions. But then also you can contact your admin if you feel like, hey, maybe my team needs more training in Salesframe or specifically in the mobile app. Why not talk to your admin and maybe we can put together a proper training session for your whole team. So that's always an option. So you can contact us directly or through your admin. And if you're an admin, just talk to us and let's see if you want some additional support or ideas or anything. And if you have ideas for the mobile app, requests, what you would like to see in it, of course, please. As the product designer, I really, really like getting feedback from the field. The more like unfiltered information I get, the better. Because typically it goes through this process of requests or ideas or something. Usually maybe a user talks to their admin talks to our customer support people, or Frans or Petteri or someone in our company. And then I get those ideas through there. So just send us ideas and stuff. We're very open to all of that.
Yep. And then also, I think one good thing to also state is that we now had this in English. And if you would like help about this or some sort of training videos in Finnish or Swedish, we can do that as well. Just so let us know if needed.
Yeah. Which is a good time to add that the app is also available in Finnish. So you can just go to that top left corner and you can switch the language. This is kind of your personal settings page. And we will probably have more settings to play around with sometime in the future, but right now you can switch your language to Finnish if that's what you want.
Yeah.
We are running out of time. I could talk about the app a very long time because I've worked on it for a long time, but yeah, very quickly let's go through a couple of use case situations for this.
That's a good idea.
So the two typical kind of use case situations for a mobile app and an offline app that were kind of the main inspiration behind the features and the structure of the app were, one is, let's say you're out in the field, you're driving somewhere, or you're on a train or whatever. Your customer calls you and asks you to, hey, could you send those materials that we talked about or that stuff we talked about? And before you would have to either open a laptop, if you didn't have your laptop, you make some notes, you go to the office or you get home or something, and then you put together that presentation and you send that link. Now you can just take out your phone, pick out the relevant materials right then and there on the train, drive to the side of the road and stop for a moment at a rest stop or whatever, take out your phone, pick out your material, send the link, 5 minutes wherever you are in the world, and your customer has that presentation. But then the other use case is for an offline app, which is something that we've heard a lot, especially from our FMCG customers and users specifically, is going out to places that are far from cities. You're out there in the field, or you're in a bunker somewhere, or in a warehouse or something, and they're just, and there's not going to be an internet connection, or the connection's going to be very bad, but you still want to present your materials. So now just sync those materials. You can even sync just a saved presentation. You can create a presentation and just sync the presentation if you don't want to sync entire folders or something. So you have those materials ready to go. Even if there's absolutely no internet connection, you're in the middle of the woods in a warehouse somewhere, you'll be fine. So those are the two, those two specific situations are the inspiration for this app.
Yeah, I think there was a comment as well. I think I'll try to show it here. It's in Finnish. Would you, Mikko, like to reply to it? Or should we take
Yeah, let's see. Sellaisen palautteen voisin antaa, että kun kirjastosta lisää slideja omaan pohjaan, niitä ei voi siirtää sieltä lopusta omalle paikalleen kuin yksi kerrallaan.
I'm trying to figure out.
Okay. So yes, reordering slides happens one at a time. That is true. You can't, in this current version, you can't select multiple files and move those. It is something we have discussed, and hopefully we can get that feature in a future version of the mobile app. But yeah, that is something where the browser app is little more flexible there. But especially if you're on your phone, if you're on a mobile device, it is pretty easy and intuitive just to grab a file and drag it, grab a file and drag it to its place. So it's not a terrible experience, but I do agree with Esa that it would be very nice to pick multiple files and move them where you want them.
Yeah, but
oh my God, we're out of time.
As we discussed prior to this, that how in the world are we gonna fill out 30 minutes? Somehow we did. So I think we shouldn't take any more time of our customers. But of course, if there are questions or anything, please let us know. And
yeah, contact us. And yeah, recording of this will be up on YouTube. So you can rewatch. If you missed the beginning, joined later or something, just go on YouTube and watch the whole thing. And hey, just download the app and start using it and give us feedback.
yeah, I think we're gonna promote the app more as well.
Yeah,
in instances and such, so everyone has the chance to, or they have heard of it at least.
Yeah, and talk to your colleagues. There's an app now. It's good.
What a speech! It's good. Hey, thank you so much to everyone. Thank you, Mikko, for the help. And as we started this with it's a nice weather, I think I'm going to take a 5-minute break outside and enjoy the sun. I suggest everyone else does the same if they have the chance.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's continue from here. Thanks to everyone and bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.